Hello everyone, welcome back to SportzHouse. I didn't post next week, but I'm uploading this week. Last week I tried to upload a video, but it didn't process, so I'm doing it this week, and I'm excited to do it. It's Week 15 NFL predictions. I believe it will be a great NFL week. I'm excited to see what happens. So I'll be predicting all the games, who I think will win, and the score. So the Chargers played at the Raiders on Thursday night. It was a thriller of a game. The Chargers won in overtime, 30-27, off a Justin Herbert rushing touchdown. And then the Raiders, I had picked them to win because they had a pretty good record, but the Chargers won instead. So now, let's start with my new predictions. So first up, we've got a heated AFC South matchup. The Patriots, Cam Newton in New England, traveling down to Miami to play Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins, who just lost his first game of his career last week against the Chiefs. And this should be a good game. Bill Belichick, he is on a big winning streak against rookie quarterbacks, and it's been questioned if it will stop. I don't think it will. Against Tua and the Dolphins, I've got New England winning 30-24. Next up, we've got the Lions at the Titans. The Titans are favored by about 11 points right now, but I have it being a close game. I have the final score, Titans beating the Lions 26-24. Because these last two games, the Lions' offense has been looking better. Next, we got the Texans at the Colts. The Texans just went to Chicago to play the Bears and got blown out. The Bears scored 30 points in the first half. It was 30-7. Final score was 36-7. So that is why I think that the Colts will carry on and win 27-17 at home against the Texans. They scored 44 against Vegas last week. Now we got the Buccaneers against the Falcons. I think it'll be a miracle if Atlanta will win this one because the Buccaneers defense they were pretty good last week against the Vikings, only allowing 14 points in the 40 minutes that they were on the field. Most of that was because Dan Bailey, the kicker in Minnesota, missed 3 field goals and an extra point, so he could have given them 10 more points. It would have been 26-24. It was 26-14, Tampa Bay over the Vikings in Tampa Bay. But with Todd Gurley, he hasn't been doing much these last few games, and Julio Jones out. I feel Matt Ryan he started off the season good. He was throwing so many passing yards. He's not been good these last few games. I've got Tampa Bay winning 27-13 over Atlanta. Next, we got the Packers and the Panthers, which is actually happening today, Saturday. I have Green Bay beating the Panthers 31-19. Aaron Rodgers is having an MVP-type season. Now, also today, at 3:30, we have the Bills on the road against Denver. And I'd say this is a good matchup because the Broncos just went off against the Panthers. Drew Lock went off against the Panthers. Well, I still have Buffalo winning. I have the final score 23-13. I feel like they should shut down the Broncos offense. We'll see what happens. So now we have the Jaguars at Ravens. Jaguars won their first game against the Colts, which is actually pretty impressive if you look at how they've been doing now and how the Colts are doing. The Jaguars are now, I believe, 1-12. They started off looking good with that win over the Colts, but they've just been bad now. I've got Baltimore taking it against the Jaguars 34-20 as Gardner Minshew is returning for that game. Since I have this as the game of the week, I don't have helmets, I just have figurines of Mitchell Trubisky, who's been leading the Bears, as they've scored 66 points in their last 2 games. And then Dalvin Cook on the Vikings, who he has been going off this year, over 14 total touchdowns. It's been really good. And then I've got the Bears winning this on the road in Minnesota. I have it being a really close game. The Bears just blew out the Texans, as I mentioned earlier. I've got the Vikings lost to the Bucs. I've got it being 23-20 Bears. Next up, we have the Browns on the road, I believe, against the Giants. It'll be Sunday night. This may surprise many of you, but I have the Giants winning this one 20-19. The Browns, I don't know. I still think they will not make the playoffs. You may disagree. I don't like. They've been looking really well this year, especially their defense. But I've got the Giants beating the Browns, upsetting them at home. Now we have Seattle at Washington. Since Alex Smith has became their starter, he's led them to 3 straight wins, and Washington is now 6-7. I believe it's 4 straight wins, but now Washington is 6-7. The Seahawks, though, I feel like the Seahawks will still win. Russell Wilson will lead them. I've got the final score 23-16 Seattle in Washington. Next up, we have the Chiefs at the Saints. It's looking like Drew Brees is not going to play, so that is why I wish he did, because then there would be a much better game. I've got the Chiefs winning in New Orleans 30-23. I'm surprised they even made the Chiefs game that close if Taysom Hill will be starting instead of Brees. Taysom Hill's done good. But anyway, now on to the next game. We've got the Jets at the Rams. I have the Rams picking apart the scoreboard in this game, taking out the Jets, who still have not won a game. I think they'll go 0-16. If they don't want to do that, they're desperate for a win. The Jets, I have the Rams winning 33-13 against the Jets. Now we have the Eagles and Cardinals. Jalen Hurts is starting for the Eagles. He played a really good game in leading the Eagles to a win over the Saints last week. And the first win in the past 2 seasons where Drew Brees has not started. And now I've got the Eagles beating the Cardinals too. This is another surprising one. 20-17, so it's also close. Next up, this was supposed to be the Sunday night game. It was scheduled to, but these 2 teams have not had much success this year. The 5-8 49ers at the 4-9 Cowboys. This should still be a good game because they're both not too good. So I have the Cowboys actually beating San Francisco 26-24. For my final matchup, we've got the Monday night game, the Steelers at the Bengals. This is a pretty obvious one. I mean, I know the Steelers lost to Washington and then they lost to the Bills. Well, the Bills were favored in that game, but I have the Steelers beating the Bengals 24-10. I have their defense shutting down Cincinnati. Alright, well that is it for today. Please comment on what you think will be the game of the week, or if you agree or disagree with any of these. And then please like, subscribe if you have not. And then see you later in the Sports House.